Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav, and in this session, in this series, we are going to learn Playwright with Java step by step from scratch. So I'm going to teach you each topic step by step from scratch, and you can do hands-on along with me, and whenever you face any issues, you can let me know. So we will be starting from scratch, so do not worry if you are a complete beginner. Do not worry if you do not know Java or you do not know any programming language. I will teach you step by step, and whenever you need any help, you can let me know. You can write your questions in the comment section and I will reply to you. And during these sessions, I will also discuss with you the issues and problems I faced when I was learning this and when I was doing hands-on, so that whenever you face similar issues, you know what to do. Okay, so let's get started and let us very quickly look at the topics we are going to cover. So we will start with the setup part. We will see what are the system requirements, and we will also see what all we have to do for setting up Java, Maven, and an IDE. Okay, so here this is the first topic. So here we will first check our system and we will see what is already there and what we need, and we will see the hardware and software requirements. So we need Java, we need Maven because we are going to create a Java Maven project, and then we will need a IDE where we will create our project and our framework. Okay, after this we will move to the second topic where we will create a Maven project, and then we will add the dependencies in our project. So all the libraries that we need for setting up our test automation framework, we will add that, and we will start with Playwright, which is the main library we need for doing automation. And the others also we will see how do we add them. And then after that, we will create and run our first test. So we will see how we can use Playwright with Java to open a browser and to invoke a website, call a website, and then do some actions there. So we will do that. And after that, we will create our project structure. So here, until now, we have just created a simple project, but after this, we will have to create a framework. So we will have to create a project structure. We have to create some folders where our test classes will go, where our page classes will go, where our objects will go, and some utilities will go. All that we will define and create a structure of our project. After that, we will add TestNG. TestNG is a testing framework, so we will make use of TestNG, and we can create a very efficient test automation framework using TestNG. And we will also learn how we can use testng.xml, where we can actually define what we want to run, what we don't want to run, what is in scope, what is out of scope. We can define all that in a single XML file and then just run that XML file, and it will run according to whatever we have mentioned or defined there. Okay, so it will be really interesting. Once we come to this topic, you will learn and see how we can do that. Okay, after that we will learn recording, how we can create our test and create our test scripts just by recording. Okay, so we don't have to do everything manually from scratch. We don't have to find all the objects and write the action for each and every step we are doing. We can simply do a recording and then generate the scripts and then use those scripts in our classes, in our test scripts, and then we can then modify them as we need. Okay, so this will make our test creation very easy and very efficient. Okay, after this we will go to page object model. So it will be very efficient if we update our project into a page object model design, where the object locators as well as the object actions will be stored separately in separate classes, and the test scripts will be in separate classes. We will see what is it. We will also learn why we use it and what happens if we don't use it, and how to implement it step by step with hands-on. Okay, then we will move to the reporting part. We will see some options for reporting and what we can add, some reporting libraries like we have extent reports or LEO reports, what all we can use, and how to implement reporting in our framework. And then finally, we will go to command line. We will see the different commands we can run and the different options we have, so that we don't have to run our test from the IDE. We don't always have to open the IDE. We can just use the commands and run our test in a command line mode. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn. It will be very easy and very interesting. So let's start with the first topic, which is setup Java, Maven, and IDE. Okay, so let's start. And during any of these, any of the steps, if you ever face any issues, you can let me know, and you can also check online so you can get some instant solutions. Otherwise, you can always let me know in the comment or Q&A section. Okay, so the first thing is, let us see our system requirements. So here, if you just go and check, if I just say Playwright Java system requirements, so this will take you to the Playwright documentation, and you can see here it is Java. So here you can check system requirements are here. Okay, so go here and this will take you to the system requirements. So here you can see what all we need to start our project. Now here we need Java. Now don't worry if Java is not there. I will tell you that in a moment, how to check and then set up Java. But if we talk about the hardware, so if you're using Windows, we can work with all these Windows operating system. Or if you're using macOS, we need macOS 14 Ventura or later. And in case you are using Ubuntu or Linux, this is what we need. Okay. The reason I'm showing you this direct link from the documentation is because in future, if there are any changes, you can always see the latest requirements from here. Okay. So if you're on Windows, you can just go to your Windows and go to my computer or this PC. So you can see here, if I go to this PC or my computer, do a right click, and if you go to properties, it will show you the system details. So here you can see, in case of me, in my case this is the processor, this is the installed RAM, and you can see all the operating system, etc. So you can check your Windows operating system. In case you are on Mac, you can just go to this top Apple icon here and click on About Mac, and it will show you the details. You can see what is the operating system and memory and version. If you want more information, you can go here. Okay, so you can quickly check, and the requirements are very basics in case of hardware. So I believe you will have all this. Now after this, what we need is Java. So let's check if Java is there. You can run the command Java space hyphen version on your command line or terminal. So let's see, if you're on Windows, you can just open your command prompt. I'm pressing the Windows key or the command key on the keyboard, and this brings up this search. I will say CMD here and hit enter to open command prompt. And yes, it's here. And here you can just type Java space hyphen version. So as of now, Java is not set up on my system. So I will do this. I will set it up, and you can also check. In case it is not there, you can follow me. And if it is there, you can then continue to the next step. I will also keep, timestamp below this video. So whenever you want to skip some particular section, you can do that. You can check the timestamp and you can jump to any section that you want to learn or you want to watch. Okay, so if you're on Mac, again you can go to terminal. I pressed command plus space on my keyboard to bring up Spotlight search, and then I type terminal and open terminal, and again if I say Java space hyphen version and hit enter, you can see Java is there on my Mac system. Okay, so let's see on my Windows. We will set up and install Java, and just in case you want any more details, although I'm showing you all the steps, but if you want, you can go on my website, which is automationstepbystep.com, and here you can see. So I had already created Playwright with JavaScript and Playwright Python series earlier, and this one is Playwright with Java, which I will also add here. And then for Java in specific, if you search for Java, you can see I have also created a complete Java playlist earlier. So here, if you want to see the details how to set up Java on Windows or Mac or Linux, everything is here, and then some programming basics are also here. So just in case you want, you can check that. But anyways, we will come back and do the steps here. So Java is not on my Windows system. So we will install Java and then set the environment variables for Java. So let us see. I'm going to my browser, and here I will say JDK download. Now we need JDK, that is Java Development Kit, because we are going to do programming in Java. So it's better you get JDK. And you can see I'm getting this Oracle website. You can go to Java downloads here, and here you can see we have got, as of now at the time of recording this video, we have JDK 24, JDK 21, and anyways it is all higher than JDK 8 that is required for Playwright as of now. Let me click on this JDK 21, and then after this you have to select the operating system. So from here you can select, I will go to Windows. Now here we have a installer. So in case you want to install Java as a software on your system, you can get this installer and then run the installer. Otherwise, if you just want to keep it separate in a folder, you can get this zipped folder, and then you can just update the environment variables with the path of this folder. So you can unzip and then keep it on your system. So I will click here. This will download the zipped folder. Okay, and it is done, and it is here in my downloads folder. So I'm just going to unzip and keep it at any location on my system. So I'll do a right click here, and let me say extract all, and it will by default go in C users and your user, but or it will by default go on the same folder which is downloads as of now, but I will go and I will browse and keep it at a different folder. Let me keep it under tools folder, which is in my D drive. And anyways, I'm doing this because my C drive is going to be full, so I'll extract it, and once it is extracted it will be present in my D tools folder. So you can extract it at anywhere on your system, and then we just have to update the environment variables with the location of these folder. So if I quickly show you, just to tell you what we will be doing after this. So we have to set two environment variables. One is Java home, we have to set with the location of the JDK folder, and then in the path environment variable we have to update the path until the bin folder. So let me show you that. So this is you can see extracted and it has come here, and if I click inside you can see we have all this content of this folder. So we are done with step number 2. Step number 3 is we will now set the environment variable. So we will first set java underscore home. Okay, so you can press the Windows key or the command key on your keyboard and then start typing environment variables. So you will see this option, edit system environment variables, or if you also do a right click on your my computer or this PC and go to properties, and here also if you start typing environment variables you will see this option, edit system environment variables or edit environment variables of for your account. So anyone will do, you can just click here and it will take you to this environment variables. Click here and we have the environment variables here. So let me minimize other windows so it is very clear to you. Yes, it is here. Now see, here we have two sections. One is the user variables for your user, and then the system variables. So if you make any changes here in the system variables, it will be applicable to the entire system, to all the users of the system. But if you want to make changes only for your particular user, in case there are multiple users using the system and you want to make changes only for your user, you can add them at the paths here. So both will work. Let me just make the changes here. First thing is we are going to add a new environment variable called Java home. You can always check if it is already there. If you go and start typing JAVA, it will take you to that variable if it is there. But if it is not there, you can click on new and here give the name of the variable, which is Java underscore home, and it is all in uppercase. Okay, so make sure that you type it correctly, all in uppercase without any spaces. It is java underscore home. Okay, and then the variable value is the location of the JDK folder. So you can go to your JDK folder. Okay, so I will go in my D tools, and this is my JDK folder. You can copy this path. So you can click here and just copy this path, and this is what we will be adding here. Okay, now make sure that this is correct without any extra spaces or without any typos or mistakes. In case you want, you can also browse the directory directly from here so that you don't make any mistakes. Otherwise, you can just copy and paste it here and say OK, and you can see Java home is added here. Okay, now the next thing is we have to add the location of JDK bin folder to our path environment variable. Okay, so this is the location of the JDK bin folder. So inside JDK folder, there is a bin folder. So this is the location that we have to update in, add in path environment variable. Now here you have to be very careful. Do not change or delete anything which is already here. So go here, select path and click on edit. Okay, and here you will see some paths are already added. Don't make any changes. What we have to do is, let me delete this. This is exactly what we have to do. Click on new, and here we have to add the path of the JDK bin folder. Now you can add the complete path, copy and paste it here, or a better way is we will first refer the path of JDK folder from Java home and environment variable. So for that you can say percentage, and below between these percentage signs give the variable name which is Java underscore home. Okay, so this means it will refer whatever value is there in the Java home environment variable, and after that we have to append the path of the bin folder. So I will say backslash and bin. Okay, so this means it will take us to the bin folder, and say OK and OK. So come out. Now if you go back to your command line, and I'm pressing the up arrow to bring up the earlier command, java space hyphen version, and hit enter, you can see still it is saying Java is not recognized. The reason is this command line is maintaining the earlier session, so it does not know the changes we have done after opening this. So we will exit from here and open a fresh command line, command prompt, and now here I will say java space hyphen version and hit enter, and yes, you can now see Java is there. Okay, I can also check Java C space hyphen version because we have added JDK, so Java compiler should also be there, and it is here. Okay, so I will exit from here, and we are able to set up Java. Okay, now we also need to use some IDE. IDE is integrated development environment. So it's better that we have some platform where we can create a complete project. We can add all our files and folders. We get some features like auto completion, code review. If there are any errors, it can highlight it. So all these we get in a IDE, that is integrated development environment. Now in case you are already using some IDE for Java projects and you want to continue with that IDE, it is completely okay. You can go with that. Everything is going to remain same in as far as the project is concerned. The scripts, the folders, all the the commands we will run, the scripts we will add, all that will remain same. So you can use any IDE if you have a preference, or if you are already using something. But if you don't have any preference and you are not already using, I will suggest that we can go with Eclipse. So let me show you. You can just go on your browser and say Eclipse download. Okay, this will take you to the Eclipse website, and here you can see this is the eclipse.org/downloads page, and here you can click on download packages here, and this will take you to this page. Now here you can see all the packages. So we have Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers, and then we have this one, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. This is what we need. Okay, so you can get it for your operating system. Okay, so once we have Eclipse, after that, if you are using Windows or Mac, it will not matter a lot because everything will be the same. Okay, the Java installation part or setup part may be different, and basically the environment variable setup part is a little different in Mac. And just in case you want to check that, I have already explained that in detail in this series where we have this video how to install or update Java on Mac. So you can check that if you are using Mac and you do not have Java. But otherwise, this part you can just follow. So based on your operating system, you can get your Eclipse. So this is what I will get on Windows. And here you can see we have a download button which will download Eclipse as a software or installer, and then you can install it. Or we have this option to get a zip folder, and this is better because you can just unzip and keep at any location on your system and start from there. So I will use this one. You can use any option. Okay, so this will start downloading Eclipse zip folder. Okay, and during these sessions, if you have any general query as well related to Java programming or automation testing, QA, etc., you can let me know. If you when you are sending me a general query and you do not find a specific video where you want to put that, you can always tag that your question with hashtag ask Raghav. So that will be better. Otherwise, it's okay. You can ask me any queries. Okay, so this is should be done. Uh, Let me check. Yeah, this is done, and it has come to my downloads folder. So I will unzip it. So before I unzip, let me uh, create a folder where I will unzip this. I am going to my D drive, which has lots of space, and I will go to my tools folder. You can unzip it at any location wherever you want. You can create a new folder. I will go here and create a new folder and call it Eclipse, and this is where I will unzip it. So I will do a right click on this zipped folder, extract all, and browse, and I'm going to use this tools Eclipse folder, and I will say extract. Okay, now generally all these extra softwares and platforms I keep in my D drive, or any drive other than C, because C drive anyways keeps on filling up by a lot of other processes. So this is what I generally prefer, my personal preference. You can go with whatever you like. Okay, so all these notes as well, I'm going to keep it in the description of the video along with the timestamps. So whenever you want, you can check the description, and you can also jump to any topic using the timestamp. Okay, so let this extraction complete. And see, whenever you see any difference, because the Playwright version will keep on updating, and there may be some things which may get changed. So whenever you see any changes, always let me know, because that will help me to update other users. And also, if possible, I will create some a new small video for that particular change, and it will help everyone. So whenever you find these kind of things, or you find something better, some better way of doing something, some more efficient way, always share that in the comments, so it will help everyone. And if I get time, I will always create new sessions based on that, so that the whole community gets benefited. All right, okay, so this is done, and it is here, and you can see in my tools I have Eclipse. Okay, it anyways extracted in a separate folder, so there was no need to create a separate folder, which is okay. I have got it here. Let me uh, just rename this to Eclipse 1, and I will cut this and put this directly under the tools folder. I'm just doing this because I don't want the path to be very long. Okay, so now under tools Eclipse, we have our Eclipse, and you can see this is the application file which we can double click and open Eclipse. And if you don't see this extension.exe, it's just that you can go to the view and you can see show file name extensions. Okay, so you can check this and just double click eclipse.exe, that is the application file, and it should start Eclipse IDE. Okay, as it is getting started, let us see. We are done with step number 4. Okay, all right. So yeah, now see, it will ask you for a workspace. Where do you want to keep all the projects? So you can go with the default workspace, which is generally in the C drive, but as my personal preference, I always prefer a different drive other than C. So I will go to D and projects, and I will create a new folder here and call it Eclipse projects, and this is where I am going to keep my Eclipse workspace. So I will browse and select my D projects and Eclipse project folder here and say launch. Okay, so this will launch Eclipse. And I know it has been some time you have been asking me for Playwright Java tutorials, and I have taken a long time to create this one. So I'll try to be a little more, quicker in my other Playwright Java tutorials, and I will try to cover as many topics as I can in this session, and then the rest of the topics in the next part. Okay, so Eclipse is ready, and you can see a lot of documentation, samples, tutorials, etc. are here. So if you want, you can check them, but you can otherwise just click on this hide and it will take you to your workspace. Okay, so we are now in our Eclipse workspace. Okay, so we are done with IDE. Now we also want to install Maven. Now here, Eclipse comes with Maven. So even if you don't have Maven on your system, you can still create a Maven project. However, if you have to run the Maven commands or use um, run your project from outside Eclipse or maybe from command line or use any Maven commands, then Maven is required. So therefore, it is good that we should have Maven on our system, because ultimately we are going to create a Maven project and we will be using the Maven commands. Okay, so for that, this is step number 5. We will first check if Maven is there by using the command mvn space hyphen version. So let's go back to our command prompt. I'm pressing the Windows key and typing cmd and hit enter, and please come up. It's a little bit slower today, I'm not sure why. So let me check. Oh, finally it's here. And I will say mvn space hyphen version, and it is not recognized. That means mvn is not set. So we will install, download and set up Maven, and then we will set the Maven path in the path environment variable. We will set Maven home and the path environment variable. So let me first go to the browser and say download Maven or Maven download. And yes, here it is. The Apache Maven website is here, and here you can see we have got all this downloads. So here we have a binary archive, then we have a binary zip archive. So you can get the zip. So we will be taking the binary and we will be taking the zip. Okay, so this is the link. So just click on this and it will start downloading. It is downloaded, I believe. And yes, and again we will do a right click. This is a zipped folder. I will do a right click and say extract all. And again, I don't like to put these in C drive, so I will choose my tools folder, D tools, and select and extract. So this is fast, and we have got our Apache Maven here. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to set the environment variables. So first we will set Maven home, and this is the path to the Apache Maven folder. So you can go inside and copy this path, go to the environment variables. So I'm pressing the Windows key and search for environment. As soon as I type env, I get this option. Go here, click on environment variables, and again here we will create a new environment variable and make sure that it is all in uppercase maven underscore home. So this is what we are typing here without any spaces. It is maven underscore home, all in uppercase, and then the variable value is the path of the maven folder. And as I discussed earlier, in case you want, you can also browse the directory so that you may do not make any mistakes here. Say OK and it is added, and then I will go to the path environment variable, click on edit, and here you have to add the location of the bin folder of Maven. So again, this is my Maven folder. Go to the until the bin folder, and this is what we want to add in path. But as we have done for Java, we will first take the location of the Maven home and just append bin. So I will say new. Make sure that you do not make changes to any of the existing paths. Just say percentage and Maven underscore home. So it will take that value, and then backslash bin and enter, and OK and OK and OK. And now if I go to the command prompt, so if I press the up arrow, it will go to the last command, and if I hit enter, it is still not able to recognize because this is maintaining the old session, and this command line does not know the changes that we have done after opening it. So I will exit from here and I will open a new command prompt. And I don't know why today command prompt is always taking some time to come up. Maybe my system needs a restart, but that's fine. Let me continue for now. I will say maven underscore maven space hyphen version, and yes, you can see now it is showing me the maven version. Okay, so step number 6 is done. And again, this step is exactly same for Mac as well. Only the path, adding the path and environment variables differ. So for this also, I believe I have a video. So in the build tools, if you go to Maven, you will see how to install Maven on Windows and how to install Maven on Mac. In fact, an interesting thing, these Maven videos are the first videos that I created on my channel, this channel. So this is where I started my channel with. It has been more than 9 years. Okay, so you can also check this one. All right, so we are done with step number 6, and we are done with the first topic, that is set up Java, Maven and IDE. Okay, so we are done with the first topic. Now until here, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can let me know in the comment section. And also I think today you can get a lot of help from online resources and even AI tools like ChatGPT. So if you still face any issues, the very first thing you can do is instantly check online or with AI tools, so you can get instant answers. And still, if you are stuck and you are not able to get solutions, you can always add your query in the comment section. Okay, and even if you don't have any query, if you just want something to add something in general, you can always let me know in the comment section. All right, so the second topic, create a Maven project. Let's go here. Now here, step number one is we will open our IDE Eclipse, or if you are using any other IDE, it's okay. You can go there and create a new Maven project. So I will open my Eclipse, and you can see if you have opened the Eclipse for the first time, we get these options: create a Maven project, create a Java project, or you can always go to File and New, and you can see we get this option Maven project. And just in case you do not find this option Maven project here, you can always go to other, and if you start typing anything here, you can say Maven project. As I type Maven, you can see it is showing me all the options. So Maven project is here. Okay, so generally you will find it within File, New, and Maven project. Okay, so this brings up this new Maven project window. We will click on this checkbox, create a simple project, which will skip archetype selection, and say next. We have to give a group ID. I will say com.playwright.test, and artifact ID, which will actually show us the project name. I will say playwright Java project, and rest of the things you can leave and say finish. And you can see here is the progress creating the project. If you want, you can click here and see the details of the progress. Okay, you can see now it has created a playwright Java project here. And if it is a Maven project, therefore you will see all this along with a file called pom.xml, and this is a very important file in a Maven project. This is where we will add all our dependencies, and this gives us a huge advantage because now we don't have to add any libraries or jars manually. We just add the dependency here and save our project, and it will take care of all the dependencies. It will, if it has to add new dependencies, it will download and add to the project. If it has to update the version of older dependencies, it will do the changes. If it has to delete something, it will, everything will be done just by adding the dependencies in this file. Okay, also let me go to window preferences and general editors and text editors, and click on colors and fonts, click on edit. So I want to use maybe Consolas is a good font, and I want to use, let's say, 18. Okay, let me see if this is good enough. I will say apply. I think this is good enough, right, for you to view it, and I will say apply and close. All right, so this is our pom.xml file. Okay, so this is the what we have already done. So group ID, artifact ID, version, etc. you can add as per whatever you want to add, which you have already added this. Okay, also at this moment, if you see this error, source folder is not a Java project, error in Eclipse, if you see this error on Eclipse, you can run this command Maven eclipse on this particular project folder. Okay, and this command you can only run after you have installed Maven, and that was the reason we first installed Maven before creating a Maven project. Okay, so you can go and do a right click on the project folder, go to properties, and you can copy the location of the project. We have this copy button, and then you can go on your command prompt, and on the command prompt you can change the location. So you can see generally by default it opens on C drive. So if your project folder is also on C drive, you can directly say cd space and the location of your project. Otherwise, if it is on a different drive, first change the drive. So mine is on D drive. I will say D colon and hit enter, and now you can see it is changed to D drive here. And then I will say cd. Cd means change directory space, and I will paste the location of the project folder and hit enter. And now you can see command prompt is on this particular folder. Okay, now you can run this command mvn eclipse, okay, eclipse colon eclipse, and hit enter. Okay, so this will check everything, and in case you see any errors you can check online, otherwise it should be a build success. Okay, now in Eclipse, and I believe in most of the IDEs now, we have inbuilt terminal, so you don't have to always go to uh, an external command prompt and run the commands. So let me also do a right click on my project, and you will find Maven here. You can also do Maven update project. Okay, so here what you can do is you can check here. If you go to at the top, you can see there is a open a terminal. You can also use the shortcut on keyboard control plus alt plus shift plus T. Okay, and you can also find it in let me check. If you go to window and show view, you can see terminal is here. Okay, so you can also find it here or in the toolbar also. If you click on this, you can see this is local terminal we need here. You can also get a SSH or telnet terminal. We need a local one. Say okay, and you will see terminal comes here, and you can double click and expand this, and again uh, generally it opens on the command on the project folder, but if it does not, you can always you know go to the project folder like this, and then you can run your commands from within Eclipse or within your IDE. Okay, so the next command mvn clean install, you can run this. This also you can check. Okay, it is not finding mvn. uh, okay, let me exit from here. I will have to check this. Okay, let us just check. Okay, this can happen if either we will have to add Maven. So you can go to your Windows preferences. Okay, if you're on Mac, this preferences you will find directly in your Eclipse menu, under the Eclipse menu. So if you go to preferences and go to uh, Maven and installations, you can click on add and add the maybe the variables, or let me see the directory from where I have Maven. It is in the tools. So I will use this one, not the embedded one. And now if you try and check on the terminal and I say Maven space hyphen version, or it's still not, or maybe I will need to restart Eclipse. Let me check. Let us just restart Eclipse, and then we will check. I'm making these initial checks, all these initial checks, so that you can also check, and while working we do not face these kind of issues. Okay, so we are here. All right, I will now again go and check. There is some issue. Let me check. Okay, still we can run it from our command line, but let me very quickly, show you the things that you can check. So you can always go to Windows, Preferences, and here you can go to Maven and Installations. So you can check if your Maven is installed. You can always, let's say if I go to Restore Defaults, you can click on Add and say External Directory and select your Maven folder wherever it is, browse and add it, finish, and then check this and say apply and close. Also you can do a right click on your project and you will see this build path, and we will have option to configure build path. So when you go here, configure build path, you will see here we have Java build path where you can check your Maven dependency and Java. In case you want to add external jars, you can add them from here. For example, if you want to add anything from here, you can add this. Okay, so this all you can check. We also have Maven here. Okay, so you can check this, but if you are still not able to run Maven command from within the terminal in Eclipse or within the IDE, you will also always have the option to run it from the external command prompt or terminal. Okay, so I can also run mvn clean install and check if everything is fine, and you can check here. This should show a success message. Okay, so everything is fine, and you can always do a right click on your project and you will find a Maven option, and you can say update project from here as well. Okay, so even if it does not work, that is okay. Okay, so we are done this. We have created a Maven project, and with this we are done with our second topic, that is create Maven project. Let us now very quickly add the Playwright dependency, which is our topic number 3. Okay, so here we will go to our pom.xml and add the Playwright dependency. Okay, so go to your pom.xml, and here if you do not already have a dependency section, go just before the project end tag. You can see this is the project start tag and this is the end tag or end node. Just before this, give some space or and say dependencies. You can also see auto suggestion. You can select from the box and you will see a dependencies start tag and end tag, and we will add all our dependencies for this project within this dependencies start and end tag. Okay, now go to your browser and go to Maven repository, and this is our Maven repository here. So this is now very easy for Maven projects. You just have to go to Maven repository, search for your library or whatever you want to add the dependency, search here and get the dependency and add to your pom.xml. So for now I want playwright Java, or you can just say playwright. I believe it should show us. And as you search for playwright, you can see it is here playwright, which is coming from com.microsoft.playwright. So go here and you can take whatever is the latest one at your time, and let me go with this one. This is the very latest one. You can see here you will have to copy this. As you click here, it will get copied. So we have Maven, Gradle, SBT, IV, all these things. We just need Maven one. So copy from here, go to your pom.xml, and within the dependencies tags, paste this. And you can also correct the formatting by selecting everything by saying Control A, and then press Control plus Shift plus F key on your keyboard. You can see it will correct all the formatting. Okay, you can also do a right click and you may find the formatting options here. Okay, so you can check here, otherwise you can just press the keyboard shortcut. And now just save your project by pressing Control plus S, or you can use these save buttons. As you will do it, it will start downloading the dependencies and add to your project. Okay, so you can see this is done. It will take care of everything. Now you don't have to do anything manually, adding, updating dependencies. Everything will be taken care here. So after this is done, if you go to your Maven dependencies section here, you should find your Playwright dependency added here. Okay, so you can see with Maven project it becomes very easy. We added the Playwright dependencies, we saved the project, and also checked the libraries are added. And this is optional. You, if you want, you can do a right click on your project and say Maven update project, and that's it. This is now our Playwright dependency is added in our project. Okay, so with this we are done with the third topic, also add Playwright dependency. And now we have to write and run our first Playwright Java test. Okay, so let's see. We will go to our src test Java package or folder. You can see here in your project, you will see src test Java folder is here. So we will keep all our test files here. Okay, and we will first create a class here called first test.java. You can name it anything. So let me go here and new. Now before adding the class directly, you can also create a package called tests, because going forward we will be adding more packages here. So all the tests will go into the test package, and I will say finish. So you can see the test package has come here under the src test Java folder, and in this package I will again do a right click and say new class, and here I will say first test. Okay, it will by default take the extension .java. You just have to give the name here and keeping everything as it is by default and say finish. So you can see it creates first test.java and it creates this class here. Okay, now we will add the script to run a Playwright test. Okay, so this is what we are going to uh, run now. It is a very simple test. Do not worry about the script. As of now, I will just create a main method. So within the, this is a class, this is a start tag, this is a start curly bracket and the end curly bracket. Within this, we will create a main method. So you will say main, and if you press Control plus space bar key on your keyboard, you should find a auto suggestion for main method, and if you click this, it will create a main method which is public static void main, and this is how we create a main method. Now this is the starting point for any Java program. So whenever you run a Java class, it will find the main method and it will run the main method. Okay, so as long as we are not using any testing framework and we do not have other ways of running our test, we will go with the main method. Okay, inside the main method I will say try, and I will say playwright. I am using a object equals playwright dot create, you can see it is showing me auto suggestion as well. If you do not find this auto suggestion box, you can always press Ctrl plus space on your keyboard, and you can see it is added. And when you do this, you will also see the imports. You can see it has imported this from the Playwright library, and this is because our Playwright library is already added in our pom.xml and added to the project. Okay, so I will start a curly bracket and stop it. Now after this, I can now directly use the Playwright functions and classes like the browser. I will say browser equals Playwright, and as of now you can just follow with me. You will get to know what we are doing in a moment. I will say Playwright dot Chromium. You can see you can get auto suggestion. I can say dot Firefox and dot Edge, or I will just say Chromium dot launch. Okay, so we are going to use a Chrome browser, and within the launch bracket you can also add the options, like I can say here new browser type dot launch options. Okay, and in the launch options I can say set headless false. That means it will be in a headed mode. I will say set headless. You can see all these options I'm also getting here false. So headless means when we run our browser in a headless mode, that means the browser will not come up on the screen. You will not see a physical browser. It will run in the backend, and you will not see anything on the screen. And it is very useful when we are, because see, a physical browser coming on the screen takes some memory. So it will consume less memory if it is a headless browser. Plus, if you are doing some work on the same system where you are running your tests, it will not interfere with your work. So headless is good most of the times, but for now we want to say headless false because we want to see the browser coming and the test running. Okay, so this is what we need, and you will need to add a semicolon at the end for Java. And also this browser is showing error. If you just hover over this, it is saying import browser from Playwright. Click this and it will add the import statements. Okay, at any point, you can always press Ctrl plus Shift plus O key on your keyboard, and this will manage the imports. If there are any extra imports, it will delete them. If there are any imports which are not added, it will add them. Or it will show you the options which imports to add. So that can also be a good option. For example, if I remove this and if I now press Ctrl plus Shift plus O, you can see it all automatically adds this statement. Okay, so this is done, and now I will use the page class. Again, this is coming from the Playwright library. So you can see all these browser, page, everything we directly get from Playwright library. We do not define them here. We just have to use them. So I will say here, I will say page equals browser dot new page. So this will open a new tab of the browser. Okay, and then I will say page.navigate to whatever website I want to go. I will say page.navigate, and let's say I want to go to https google.com. Okay, I'm going to google.com, and then I just want to print the title. So I will say page.title, and to print this we use the print statement in Java, which is system.out.println, and the shortcut is if you press syso, if you type syso and press Ctrl space bar on your keyboard, it will auto complete the statement system.out.println, and here I can just put this page.title here. Okay, I can also append something before printing this. So whatever we add here will get printed on the console. I will say the page title is and this will get printed here. Okay, and then we will close the browser. I will say browser dot close. Make sure that you save your project and scripts. Okay, so we have created a very simple test. Now see the scripting part. Today you can get all this online. You can, if you just say I want a Playwright Java script to open a browser or get the page title, you can get that online also, but it is good that initially that we understand what we are doing, so that when we read any script we can understand what it is doing. Okay, so this is our script here. Okay, so we are done with this and we will save and run. So make sure that you save, and then to run you can just do a right click and say run as, and you will get a option Java application. So let's see. So even if you face some errors for the first time, it's completely normal and okay. You can just copy the error message and check online, and you will get the solutions and resolutions. So you can see this is our console. You can also double click on this console to see all the details. As of now it is, I think, downloading all the browsers because this is the first time we are running it. Okay, we could also have run the playwright command earlier to download all the browsers first, but that's fine. Even if you don't do that, whenever you run your first test it will take care of that. So you can see it opened the browser, and you can see here it said the page title is Google. Okay, let me run it once again so that you will see. I will do a right click, run as. Okay, you can also use this run button, and because the last time we ran the first test, you can see it is here, so you can directly click here or directly click on the run button. It will run the first test, and you can check here on the console. So you can see this time it was very fast and it did not do any downloading. It just printed the page title is Google. Okay, so we are able to run our first test with Playwright Java. Okay, and from here it is going to become very interesting if you are able to do until here with hands-on, and your project is working, your test is working. You have done a great job, and we are already, you know, we have set up everything, we have already checked everything, we have run our test. So from here it is going to become even more interesting. We will create our project structure, we will see how to use testng and testng.xml. We will learn recording, how to do recording, and then page object models, reports, and command line. So I'm going to stop this particular part here, and then in the next part we will continue with the rest of the topics. I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.